Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, John Haynes, A Conversation with Death. The man who rules the world and the angel of darkness take on a horde of demons in this inaugural John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, A Conversation with Death for 99 cents on Kindle or in paperback today. There's nothing more dangerous than a simp with a badge, because instead of trying to protect and serve his community, a simp with a badge will eventually wind up terrorizing his community with his violence. And we had an incident here in the Bronx where one of these simps with a badge decided to use the power of his gun and his badge to attack an individual because he thought that this guy was cheating with his woman. Now, we had this off duty police sergeant who decided to confront this black man because he thought he was cheating with his woman. And as they got into an argument, this simp with a badge pulled out his service weapon and shot this individual in the face. And then, after shooting this individual in the face, this simp with a badge decided to drop something near the individual and then walked away. However, a few minutes later, he came back and then picked up said item and took it back with him. But what the simp with a badge did not understand was that he was being recorded by cameras on the street. And this camera on the street recorded him confronting this man, shooting him in the face, dropping this item, then coming back a few minutes later to pick the item up. And all of it is on tape, and all of it shows how dangerous a simp with a badge is. And what makes a simp with a badge dangerous is the fact that a simp with a badge is abusing his power and authority over people. This simp with a badge will take his power and authority not to enforce the law, but to try to use the law as a way to get away with his criminal activity. Now, this simp with a badge here in the Bronx, what he wanted to do was go out and confront this individual who he believes that his girlfriend was cheating with and get into an argument with him and then use that as a justification to murder that individual and say that he was participating in an act of self-defense. That's what makes these simps with a badge extremely dangerous, because they will use the power of their badge in a way to manipulate the facts of a case and use it as legal justification to go out here and get revenge on an individual who they believe they were cheating with. And these simps with a badge will also go out here and use that badge as a way to go out here and attack and terrorize women, just like that serial rapist Daniel Holtzclaw did when he was out here going out here to rape black women. Now, this simp with a badge here in the South Bronx, all of his actions were caught on tape. And what exacerbates the situation with this simp with a badge is that this individual had been disciplined before by the NYPD for participating in violence against another man over a female. So this guy has a track record of participating in violence all over the attention of a woman, or because he believes that a woman is cheating on him with another man. And that which is what shows that this sergeant clearly isn't qualified to be an officer of the New York City Police Department, because a police officer's job is to protect and serve his community, not put his community at risk by participating in behaviors based on his emotions. And this is something I've talked about before regarding being objective and navigating through your emotions, because a police officer has to be objective in trying to protect his community, and he has to know how to navigate through his emotions when he's in stressful situations. And this officer showed that he did not know how to be objective or navigate through his emotions, because if he was having an issue with his girlfriend in both cases, he would have confronted the female regarding his feelings regarding the cheating or the alleged cheating, and he would have dealt with the woman, not went out here and abused the power of his badge to go out here and attack this man, or in this case, go out here and use his service weapon to go out here and try to kill this man over this woman. And that shows that this officer, again, clearly is not fit for duty as a police officer, because a police officer who is fit for duty, again, he's not going to take out his frustrations over a relationship with a woman on an individual in the community, because he knows that that's what a brutal cop would do, that's what a corrupt cop would do, and that's what a criminal cop would do in that case. And when it comes down to guys like this, again, they do not fit the psychological profile of what a police officer should be, because a police officer, again, understands that they have to navigate through their emotions, and they have, if they have issues with a female that they're dating or they're in a relationship with, they confront that female, and if they have these suspicions that this woman is cheating, they end the relationship with the woman. But because this beta male did not have any sort of critical thinking skills, could not use logic and reason, and was all in his feelings over this woman, he decided he was going to take the law in his own hands, and he felt that because he was the law, he felt he had a right to go out here and shoot this individual over this woman. This shows that this man, again, is just not fit to wear a police officer's uniform. And what's really sad about this is that this was a police sergeant, and that this police sergeant thought he was, one, above the law, and two, was not thinking about the bigger picture as related to his community, the safety of people in his community, or the needs of the community that he served. It was all about him. It was all about his feelings over this woman, and he was willing to risk the safety of others to continue having a relationship with this woman. And he was also willing to fabricate evidence to justify his violence against this man, and him fabricating this evidence shows how this man was more about what he was feeling, and he wasn't thinking about the long-term ramifications of his actions. And that's what makes these simps very dangerous to have in positions of power like police officers, because when you have a simp out here, he's more about his feelings over a female, and he's willing to give women passes for things like crimes that they commit, or he's willing to go out here and commit crimes himself out here in order to keep having a relationship with a woman, or if that relationship ends, he will then abuse the position of his power to go out here and stalk a woman, harass a woman, or even participate in sexually violent crimes against a woman, all because the relationship didn't go the way that he wanted. And because things did not go the way he wanted, what he's going to do is terrorize his community by using the power of his badge. A simp with a badge is one of the most dangerous people you could have in a community, because usually a simp with a badge is eventually going to become either a power simp where he has no control over his emotions, or he's going to become a psycho simp and is going to go out here and terrorize his neighborhood, his community, and instead of being a protector, he is going to become an attacker. When I look at the behavior of this police sergeant here in the Bronx, is just as dangerous as the behavior that your Daniel Holtzclaw participated in for years when he was out here serial raping black women. And when it comes down to these kinds of officers, other officers cannot cover for simps with badges because simps with badges threaten the safety of a community. They violate the trust that a police officer needs to have in order to protect the community, and his behaviors are the kind of behaviors that lead to rifts between a community and the police officers in the community, and prevents the police officers in that community from being able to protect and serve the members of that community. When I look at this simp with a badge, I see an individual who is unfit for duty as a police officer, someone who has no business being a police officer, and someone that needs to be terminated sooner rather than later. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to buy some of my men's issues books like the Simp series, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.